Hi everybody, so we know that I did the giant ASC Supply Wizard Academy mini album. I still have it here, so I'll show it to you. Gigantic mini album. It used nearly the entire collection, but I do have some scraps left, so I'm going to do a couple cards for you. I have these already cut out, so I will give you the measurements as I go. We're just going to use a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. We're going to cut that in half and get our card bases. Usually use 110 pound cardstock. Okay, so I got the 8.5 by 11, 110 pound cardstock. I'm going to cut this at 5.5 inches. And it won't be right on, but it'll be kind of close. Sorry, my whole desk will shake when I cut this thick cardstock. And that is the Tim Holtz Tonic Trimmer. I have that one on my Amazon store if anybody's interested. And then we fold the cards in half, and I found my cards. We fold those in half and we get our card bases. So this is a A2 size card, I think. Okay, so we have this 5.5 by 4.25 card. And then I cut this piece of maroon cardstock that goes pretty well with the collection. And I cut it at 4, and let me measure it so I don't tell you guys wrong. I cut it at 4.25 by 5.5, so it's going to cover the entire card. And this is when I realized that this paper is not square, but that's okay. We shall deal. So I'm going to, in order to get it kind of square on there, I put the card on the folded side. And you can see that there's still like a 1/16 of an inch there. No problem. Either one of my paper trimmers will trim that off. And we'll go with this big guy here because the other one, if it gets glue gumped up in it, it has issues. So see the wonderfulness that is the guillotine trimmer. Okay, and then we're going to do some distressing. And I'm just using Vintage Photo Distress ink, which is the same ink that I used on the entire album. And we're going to go ahead and put glue on that. Square it up. You're going to leave about 1/8 inch all the way around. Okay, now this one depends. This depends on the size of your scraps. So I had these scraps here, so I cut this scrap is 3 by 4, and this is cut at 3 1/8 by 4 because it's going to span this. So and that starts at the parchment paper, which is from my stash, by the way, this parchment. And then the pattern paper that I cut to 3 by 4. I'm going to ink it up. And this is just a really good way to use your scraps and make some cards. Okay, I had a lot of scraps that I could use that are this size, and this measures 1 3/4 by about 3 1/2-ish. And we're just going to ink that up. And I'm kind of sticking with the color palette of the maroon and the black. this scrap is just a 1/4 inch bigger, leaving an 1/8 inch all the way around. I'm going to take my small scrap, and I have lots of black small scraps left over too. So there's that. If you wanted a smaller border, you'd just make it an 1/8 inch bigger instead of a 1/4 inch bigger. Okay. It's very windy here today. And there we go. I got some glue on that. I'll get it off. Okay. So there is the card base, and it just needs a little sentiment or something. So I got my Echo Park Witches and Wizards stamp sets. Both of these are available at ASC Supplies on Etsy, or ASCCraftSupplies.com. And I'm using this Seek, Magic, and Everyday. And I have my Tim Holtz Tonic stamp platform here. I also have that on my Amazon store, link below. And I think what we'll do is we're going to ink, or put this right here, and I'm just going to use the same vintage photo. It's not a great ink to stamp with, but it'll work in a pinch. That's what I have out. That's what I'm going to use. So we're going to use the stamp platform because it will not stamp good the first time, because it's not made for stamping. Of course, you don't need a stamping platform to do this. But it helps. It says Seek Magic Every Day. Seek the magic every day. So there's one of the cards. I'm going to do the second one. I'll just speed it up for you. I do have a little embellishment that, or cut apart, that I can add to that one. And we made 3 like that. 1, 2, 3, and we can always put some little embellishments on there. But what I think I will do is put some of these stars on there. So if you go to the best way that I found to search this, ASC Supplies on Etsy, is to go to the store and just search Echo Park. So 2 little stars here. And you can use these little stars anywhere. It comes with the cool, put one on one side and one on the other, the small one and the big one. And it comes with other cool Harry Potter things. And I'm going to do 1 big one on each. Lower right hand corner. Keeping these cards flat and mailable. Do 1 big one, and we'll put 2 little ones up here. Go. So those are those 3 cards that we've made with the scraps. We have some more to go. And then when I'm all the way done making the big cards, we're going to make some more quilted cards. So stand by, and we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.